Thank you for tuning in, and today I'm going to show you a simple, easy way how-to video on changing your front wheel studs. Now I replaced these studs with actual new studs, but they turned out they was a little too short. This is on a ton truck, so it's pretty straightforward. So it should be very helpful because there ain't many videos on ton trucks and stuff like that and doors. So as you can see, these lug nuts are not going all the way on the stud, and that is because they're too short. Now I'll show you my problem before is, hey kitty, is oh, I gotta get the other lug nut. This is my old lug stud, and as you can see, if you look real close, it had a little wear down to it, uneven, and that's something you need to look for because that can over time weaken the stud. Now this stud is probably still usable and good, but I wanted to change them anyway, and when I changed them, the part store gave me the studs that you see on the truck now, and it wasn't the right ones, so I got into a predicament. This is the right ones that the truck calls for. That's should be the part number. What's on the side somewhere here, in case y'all need it. You're having the same problem I had. First thing you want to do is put a jack under it. Make sure it's rated for a heavy truck, because then little bitty jacks will just fold and they are dangerous. Once you get this jacked up, you want to put jack stands under it for extra support and be extremely safe, because these trucks is a lot more heavier than the regular, trucks that you mess with. So be extra safe, especially if you're on a motorhome, because they got the same setup. Depending on your air pressure and PSI, or if you got somebody holding the brakes, you can loosen your lug nuts with an impact, or you can do it on the ground just a little. I recommend getting an impact and loosening them with it jacked up and supported and all that. It's less dangerous and less chance of damaging your wheel. So let's go ahead and get these. Tuck off. Okay, once you get your wheel off, you can take your lug and put it on just a couple threads and tap on it. I don't like doing that because you can damage your lug nut and the threads inside of it, but some people do screw these on and tap them out. But if you're replacing your studs anyway, I really don't care about saving them. So you can take your hammer on these trucks. You don't even have to take the wheel off. Just take your hammer and tap till they come out. Now, these studs is not usable when you do it this way because it damages the thread and smushes them. So these is garbage. Scrap. So go ahead and knock all your studs out. Now you can take your new stud once you get all these knocked out. So as you can see, it's a pretty fast process to do. Pretty easy if you got air tools. If you're doing it manually with ratchet and stuff, it might take a little longer. But once you get this in there, it goes just like so. Oh, this is my old stud. Oops. That's how mistakes happen, folks. Take your new stud, put it in the hole, make sure it's just like that. And you can tap it a little, just a little, just to get it a couple teeth in there. Then you can take your lug nut, don't put it on this way, put it on this way. Snug it all the way down. If the lug nut and stud is spinning, means tap the son of a gun a little bit more. As you can see, it quit spinning, and tighten it up. Now this is where you can take a ratchet or impact, your choice, however you want to do it, and tighten that thing up to its seats. I'm using an impact, it's faster. So as you can see, it pulls this up You don't want to cross thread it, but this is just dirt from that old nut. But it's pouring it in. My air pressure is extremely low with this gun, and I do got like 150 foot of hose out to this truck, so I gotta let it build up again. Now, as you can see, I took my impactor once it's built back up, and it is flush and it is tight. Now your lug nut is seated where your lug nut stud is. Now you can loosen this lug nut back off, take it back off, and do the other 7 the same way as that one was. It's got dark on me, guys, but as you can see, I got all my lug nuts put on, and all my studs are seated, tied against it, and they are super tight. If you took a torque wrench to this, I don't. I just got them with a big breaker bar so they couldn't tighten no more, and they should be good. But I say a torque specs on these. You can Google it to check for yourself, but I don't know them. So big breaker bar is my torque wrench. But check and make sure everything's seated. Now once you get that, you can take your impact, or if you got a breaker bar or something, loosen these and remove your lug nuts, because that's the next step. Once you get that, you can go ahead and install your tire the same way it came off. So as you can see, we got a new studs installed. It was pretty straightforward, pretty simple. It just daylight saving time. It was the edge of dark, and it took me probably about 30 minutes to do this, but it wasn't too bad at all. Very simple. If you need to replace your studs, it's pretty universal on about any vehicle, so if you watch this video, it'll work out for about anything you're working on. But these tons, some of these tons is odd because I use this plate to pancake this rim, you know, and your lug nuts tighten up on this plate, so you need extended longer studs. Now for the other style rims that come on some of these trucks, you do not. That's what the shorter studs are for. But for this type of style, you need the longer studs. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to see more videos like this, drop me a like, leave me a comment, so you know, I know you enjoyed it and found it useful. And hit that subscribe button to show support for my channel. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. And it sounds like my air compressor just sprung a leak.